Hi guys, this is just a little quick video to look at being prepared to answer. How should I answer someone who gives me objections to the Christian faith, which comes in many forms. I did a talk on this recently. It was called Defending the Faith. You can get the full video online. But just 3 points from that, just to summarize some of the information on how can we answer somebody, how do we go about that, what things are important. First thing that I want to say was that the scripture we come from is 1 Peter 3:15, being prepared to answer for the reason for the hope that we have, but we must do this with gentleness and respect. What the first thing to say is we must answer whatever we get in love. Whatever answer we give, no matter how wonderful it is, if it's not done in love, it's not going to be heard. 1 Corinthians 13 says, if I can fathom all mysteries of the universe, but I don't do it in love, I'm not really heard. I'm a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal, so I'm not really heard properly. So first point to make in anything, being prepared to answer for the faith that we have. How do I do that? Well, I must do what I do, say it in love. It has to be said in love. It has to be said in respect. Now, it's easy to say that now. You meet a challenge, you meet some disagreement, you meet somebody who's complaining, or you meet any kind of number of scenarios. But the bottom line is, whenever you've lost that motivation of love, whenever you've lost the gentleness and respect, it's time to finish the conversation. So that's the first thing to say. We must do it in love. And it's something that we need to keep in mind, no matter how heated the conversation can get. The second thing comes from Matthew 7 verse 6, is don't throw your pearls to pigs. So sometimes we're going to get people who just are out to criticize. They're just out to mock. They just seem like they're full of disrespect for our viewpoint. I would suggest that we don't engage with that person at all. The way this works in the world of apologetics, when I'm engaging with somebody online usually, most commonly, they'll say things in a very derogatory manner. They'll throw out lots of mockery comments towards those who believe in God, as in it's nonsense and all these kind of things. And they seem to be very victorious. They like to celebrate victories. They talk about how one talk debater owned a Christian, and they use words like owned and things like that. And whenever I hear that, I'm like, to me, that's not somebody who's seeking the truth. They're seeking victory. They're seeking to win. They're not actually seeking to find out what is the truth, because they've got all this type of speech. It's derogatory, it's disrespectful. In my pursuit of truth, I don't want to mock anyone else's viewpoint. I'm not out to put anyone else down. I'm not out to tell anyone else that your views are stupid. That's not the way to go. And then I hear that, I want to not engage that person, or at least highlight the obvious, in that you don't seem to be seeking truth, but you seem to be seeking to be right. And there is a difference. So that's the second thing. Don't throw your pearls to pigs. Don't waste your time if you can tell the other person has no respect for your current views, your current beliefs. They may not understand them, but the deep-rooted heart behind it, you can try and pick up on that. Don't throw pearls to pigs. Third thing then that we want to do is, this is a critical one, we must reverse the burden of proof. So Christians always have this idea that we have to answer for everything that someone throws at us. But the burden of proof lies with the person who makes the claim. So if someone you're debating with makes this claim that the Bible has been made up by man, it's been changed, they've just made a claim. So guess the burden of proof lies with them. They need to defend the thing that they have just said. The burden of proof doesn't lie with you. You don't need to jump in and explain why it's true. You can do that later, maybe you can, but hopefully you can. But the burden of proof lies with them. Whoever makes the claim has to defend the claim. And it's important that we don't take on the burden of proof when it belongs to somebody else. Couple of questions that we can ask about this. So whenever someone makes a claim, 2 questions that we can ask. Really practical questions that help us if we don't know what to say. This is particularly helpful if we don't know what to say. First thing is, when someone makes a claim, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? Expand. Elaborate for me. Clarify. So we can be clear about the terms that are being made, so that we can obviously take an interest in that person's viewpoint. We may be educated in their viewpoint, but it's really important just to know, what do you mean? So that I don't give you the answer that's not really the answer you're looking for. So I actually understand your objection. So what do you mean? Second thing, and this could be more challenging for them when they tell you what they mean, is how did you come to that conclusion? So how did you arrive at that conclusion? Now, it's important to be clear here that there's a difference between opinion and evidence. Lots of people will say, well, I came to that conclusion because of such and such an opinion. Opinion is not evidence. What have you read? What have you studied? How did you come to that conclusion? You know, what have you researched? That's what you're looking to find out, because you're looking for those who are seeking the truth. So you want to find out, how did you come to that conclusion? If very often what you're going to find is people don't know how they came to that conclusion. They don't have any reason for coming to that conclusion. They grab a soundbite or some phrase that they heard from somewhere else. And we're not interested in that. We're interested in discovering the truth, investigating to see what is true. So, in summary, we've got to answer in love and respect. And that can be easier said than done, but it's essential that we do that. The second thing is that we don't throw pearls to pigs, that we don't engage a mocker. There's no point if someone's out just to mock. Third thing is reverse the burden of proof by asking 2 questions. What do you mean by that? And how did you arrive at that conclusion? So drop any comments, anything that's helped, any experiences you've had in this kind of thing that can help others as we try to be prepared to answer. Much more will follow. Many thanks for listening to this video.